Alyona Synenko is the regional spokesperson for Africa at the International Committee of the Red Cross, and she joins me now live from Nairobi. It's really good to have you on the program. Thank you for your time. Now, residents in Sudan are feeling some sort of cautious relief, but this ceasefire is only set for 7 days, which isn't enough time to get people the assistance they need.
Indeed, if you look at the sheer scale of the humanitarian needs in Sudan, they are huge and they are growing. So 7 days is not a long time. But at the same time, if you consider that we've been facing weeks and weeks of unrelentless, continuous fighting very close to heavily populated areas, I think that any kind of respite will be extremely welcome by the Sudanese civilians who have endured horrendous suffering, who've run out of food, water, and medicine. And of course, for our teams, it will make it much easier to move around and to deliver urgent supplies.
Give us some information about the operations that your teams are conducting on the ground and the situation that the Sudanese have been facing since this conflict started. How much worse has things gotten?
Things have been getting worse continuously because, as I said, because of the unrelentless fighting, it has been extremely difficult and next to impossible to bring vital supplies to people, and just for people to be able to go out and get food and water, and markets have been closed. So we are talking quite a lot about people who fled their homes, but we should absolutely not forget that there's still civilians in the capital, Khartoum, today, or in Darfur, and those people are in extremely difficult situation. For us, the priority number one has been trying to deliver urgently medical supplies to the hospitals, because the healthcare system, as we speak, is on the verge of collapse. And we managed to transfer some medical supplies that we flew into Port Sudan earlier to the Ministry of Health, and they started distributing them to the hospitals in Khartoum. So we really hope now that this ceasefire holds for the Ministry of Health to be able to continue those vital deliveries.
And what role do you think the international community needs to play here to ensure that these ceasefires do stick and we see more of them as this conflict rages on in getting that much needed aid to hospitals and homes?
Well, I think the humanitarian community, the international community, has already played the role. The fact that these negotiations took place and that those very important agreements were reached, I think it is also already extremely important. And now we just all hope that all the parties, they also show on the ground their commitment to comply with the norms of the international humanitarian law, because we should not forget that it is also an obligation in the time of conflict like that to ensure that there is this humanitarian space for civilian population, for medical personnel, for humanitarian workers to be able to work.
All right, Alyona Synenko, thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour.